Well, my experience. Actually, it's multifaceted. One, I've got 32 years of law enforcement experience with the Kittitas County Sheriff's Office. I'm a supervisor, been a supervisor for the last 23 years. I've supervised several divisions within the Sheriff's Office, to include major crimes. I know death investigations. I've been to many of them. I've dealt with all facets of death, whether it's suicide, homicide, natural causes. I've made death notifications to families. So I've got a lot of experience in that area. I've also got county experience, which is dealing with the budget. I work with a $6 million sheriff's budget on a daily basis. I know the process, the policies, the procedures for getting stuff done through the county process. One of the biggest challenges with the new position, the establishment of the coroner's position, is the basic budget that's going to be established by the commissioners on the onset. That's going to need to be reviewed. Policy and procedures are going to need to be reviewed and updated. I have that experience. I can make that happen. Well, first and foremost, there's three components to a complete death investigation. First is the thorough investigation of the death scene by a qualified and trained death investigator. Second is the autopsy by a pathologist, and third is toxicology. Those three combined will hopefully tell us the manner and cause of death. As far as cost goes, I guess that's driven kind of by circumstance. You know, you can't cheat on a death investigation. It's the moral obligation to do the absolute best job, because that's what we're designed to do. As far as the budget goes, I think being fluid and working with the county commissioners on what it's actually going to take to get the job accomplished. One, this is a foundational budget. They don't really know what it's going to take to run an independent coroner's office. It's currently being ran by the prosecutor's office, which has many deputy coroners and support staff along with it. So it's got to be fluid. That means good communications with the powers to be, the commissioners, good budget planning, seeing what avenues are available out there, if there's any grants, federal grants, state grants that can assist, our policies consistent with that for obtaining grants and getting that done. And then lastly, working with the family. That is huge. I mean, you got to be likable. Families are entrusting their loved ones that you're going to do the right thing and you're going to take care of their loved ones. And you just got to have the right person for the job that's emotionally fit, that knows what they're doing, that's been there, has the experience, and can provide comfort that you're doing the right thing for those folks. The goal is clear. Let's find out what the manner and cause of death is. You can't cheapen it up because of a budget. There's going to be years where you might not have anything, you know, the budget is well within range, and you could turn around the next year have a double homicide that's going to be take extensive resources. But you know, it also goes along with, you know, knowing what your resources are. I've talked with King County medical examiners. You know, I know a lot of people in the field, and I know the resources out there. It's working with these folks. It's getting the right contracts in place. You know, what's the availability? You know, how soon can we get services? Are the services available here, or do we need to actually take the body somewhere else to have these services done? But I'm capable of getting that done. I mean, I know it, and that's a big part of what we do as a coroner, is being responsible both fiscally, but you know, mainly to the citizens of our community. I mean, we are trying to set up a coroner's office with high standards. The voters have said they want a coroner's office. This is the interview process for the applicants. Well, let's invest in the one that's going to do the right job. Set the bar high. You have medical examiners in other areas, and they're making $200,000 a year. We can't afford that as this community. But what we do have is qualified people like myself that can step up to the plate and provide excellent service at a reasonable rate. And that's what I'm here for. This is important. I mean, you know, if you look, and actually even through my campaign process, you know, I talk to different people all the time. I've got a huge support base, but people don't really know what the coroner does for a living. You know, they've seen stuff on TV, they've read about stuff in the paper, but they don't actually know what happens. So, in talking with 10 people, I get 10 different answers on what the coroner should be doing. This is important because this is the establishment and the foundation for the future. It's taking the office, putting correct policy and procedures in there, getting the right dynamics for disasters. We haven't even talked about that, but there's more facets to this. You know, mass casualty plans. Do we have a playbook on the shelf that we can pull out if something was to happen, or are we going to be building it on the fly? That's not the time to do it. Policy and procedures that are consistent with best practices throughout the community of coroners and medical examiners. You know, training. Are your staff trained? Is the local folks in the area trained? You know, this is a training component with law enforcement, EMS. What can they expect the services to be from the coroner's office? What's the expertise of the coroner's office? How are we going to benefit them? How are they going to benefit us? And also the prevention end of it. And you don't think coroner with prevention, but if you think about it, if you're good at your job, you're doing a proper death investigation, you're going to find out about contagious disease sooner. You're going to find out about defective consumer products sooner. Those are huge in preventing further incidents, working in conjunction with the health department.